it's gonna be dark for a minute. I'm en route. Had to stop. I'm en route to getting. We gotta get a space heater. There might be some problems. If you guys ever dealt with those mini splits, comment below what kind of problems you have with the mini splits. We've had a couple problems with them, and these are all the things, right? You wanna, right? You wanna be that business owner. You think it's all glorious. Well, there's a lot of things behind the scenes, right? Like I said, there's not nobody giving you a that boy or good job or thanks for all your hard work. It's just a lone wolf. You and your automobile. Riding around in my automobile. So we'll stop over there. Grab something at the gas station real quick and drop this off. The mini split is not keeping up. I think they're only good for like 15, 20 degrees. And we're sitting at 8. And boy, I would really hate to have a broken water pipe in the shop. That would be a real bummer. I'm hoping the plow guy, looks like the plow guy came, so that's good. It's always good to have a good plow guy, good maintenance guy, or mechanic, I should say. All right, we made it. Otherwise, you guys let me know too how your Monday's going, what you're working on. Any questions, you guys always know I'm more than welcome to ask me questions. Business, that's why I do them. Oh, sweet. There's $10. I thought I lost that $10. That was change left over. So we're golden. It's like sometimes it's like home away from home. What should we do first? I think we should. But so this mini split, right? It works pretty good. It's more. I think it's more geared towards. Oh, it feels pretty nice in here right now, honestly. Oh yeah. She's keeping up pretty good. Something happened with the flaps, I guess, on it. It's always had a weird. I don't know. This one's on. What's always funny to me though is this is what employees. This has got to get a timer on it because they leave the fan on, right? So we're sucking heat out, while we're pushing heat in, right? Little heater pushing heat for the crapper. I don't know how the light always gets turned on, and the door needs to be propped open just for fail-safe. So it is super. Ooh. Yum. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring the other one in here just to be safe because when it's this time of year, it's just better off to be safe than sorry. You know what I mean? And that way, if the other one does fail, I'm a guy that likes to have a lot of ammunition, and we're just gonna make sure they got extra heat in here. We'll turn this one maybe on the thermostat. I think this one's got a thermostat. Go fast. I went too slow. But this is the time of, or shit, we'll put it on the opposite side. Put it over here. This will be a good spot for it. But this is the time of year right now. We just got to get through this stretch right now. It won't be too much longer. Try these new chairs out. Oh, snazzy. Oh, not bad. It's not what I'm used to, but it's not bad. All right, let's turn this on. Low, high. Turn it down to, what does it say right now? It says it's 72 in here. We'll do 72. 72 should be a nice temperature. Should we do oscillate? Let's see if this old puppy still oscillates. I don't think it does. Maybe. It's telling me it's 38, 39. Try oscillate again. I don't know about this old thing. She's pretty old. But anyways, the mini split 15 to 20, right? That was all we did because at the time, I didn't want to, man, it sure feels like it's really low. I always had to get natural gas. And I didn't want to get natural gas put in here because then we got to get a furnace, and that's another bill. And we really don't need natural gas. Something to think about, too. It's heating up. It's 56, but it doesn't oscillate anymore. I thought this thing did rotate. just don't want it to be. I'd rather be on the not oscillate so it doesn't have no weird glitches. Hopefully I don't have a fire. That would not be fun. We'll check out some comments. Oh, reconnect. Oh, reconnect. Evan Siri says hello. Yeah, I was in a statewide cold weather emergency tonight. Wow. And tomorrow we are looking at possibly negative 40. Wow. What do you even do in that, Tanner? I mean, to me, man, you get that cold, it's just you either stay at a shop or paint a scissor lift or clean a scissor lift, oil a scissor lift, maintenance on trucks or something. I mean, that's just too cold. We are sitting at negative 11 right now. Feels like it is negative 18. Dang. You know, I don't know why it doesn't feel that cold to me. Maybe because we don't have a lot of wind, but or maybe it's just because I've been out in the cold lately. So like, I'm just numb to it. But it's definitely cold. It's cold. Rusty. Rusty. What's it got? A Monday drive, 45 minutes each way to tell the customer he needs to order a Torque Master from another company. Ooh, I don't want to mess with it. Can't convert it. Ooh, tight? Was it tight? I'm assuming like a low headroom. I'm going to order, so if Rich jumps on or whatever, if he watches Rich B, he actually showed me the arm. I got a buddy that might need one, that you mount the opener off to the side. So we're going to do one, or I'm doing one for my first. I'm a virgin. Can't convert it. Is it T Monday? It says hello cold. Was it Connecticut? Cold, man. It's cold everywhere. Looks like next week though, baby. Next week we're up. Evan, I'm sure it's colder too. It's about negative 29 Fahrenheit, negative 34 for the other Canadians. Wow. That's amazing, man. I'm sitting here like crying at 8 degrees. That's nothing. The problem is the problem. Now, I don't even know. I should check this to see if it's loose. Last year we had problems with this. I used to have a cupboard here for like washing your hands. I don't know why. I guess, you know, I used to spend a lot of time here. And so like I used to be the plow guy. I used to be the guy that cut the grass. I was the guy that was working on the vehicles. I was the guy that was the mechanic. I mean, I was here all the time. I was doing all this stuff, and I always thought, man, it'd be nice like during the summertime to have like a little wash area here to wash your hands. It really, I don't know. We never really used it, so I ended up putting these spigots here. And hopefully, I got them deep enough, which these feel fine. Yep, those feel fine. These are really nice. The ones I got the hot and cold. Oh man, I do those on all the houses that either like a flip house or rental. When I got the opportunity, when we're doing guts on them, I will put. It keeps dripping. Why is it dripping? Stop dripping. There. But anyways, I love them. The hot and cold. Oh man, you wouldn't believe how many times hot and cold you want outside. Just to clean out like a cooler, to fill up a kid's kiddie pool. Now I wish I want to open it. It seems like it's dripping. It's going to make a liar out of me. There we go. I think I got her. I think she's just residual drip. Also, another thing too, just for some of you, the greenhorns, right? I see they got some. They bought even the better. The orange stuff works good for us. This stuff supposedly you got to go with this stuff. You can't go with the blue stuff anymore. They got that stuff diluted down so badly nowadays that it freezes up all the time in your spigots, your sprayers for your trucks. So anyways, there's that spigot outside. We had a problem last year. It broke this line. So there's a vent over here now. And there's actually some fittings back there. You can shut some valves off. But that's the reason we got to keep heat in here. Everything else has always been pretty good. Never had any other problems with any of the plumbing and stuff like that. But I'd rather keep a little extra heat just to radiant through. This has got spray foam in it for the walls. So But these doors leak like a sieve. I wanted commercial doors, so we went with these. I mean, like this door out here, man. Maybe I should have shopped. I mean, this door back in the day was like $3,200 or something. It's an expensive door, but I wanted a commercial door. You know, wanted to look the part. Ugh. Do. This low headroom inside hookup, and get the mounted around. Ooh, the TorqueMaster drum. Ooh, drywall after it was installed. Dang. Yeah, sounds, you know, like you probably should stick with the old TorqueMaster. So I'm just curious though, Rusty, what happened? Were you not able to get pictures? Because if you would have seen the pictures, you probably would have been like, whoa, right? Like, yeah, we don't do TorqueMaster. You might want to, you know what I mean? Like, I just wonder if you got pictures or anything. Ever after, gonna be a good day for springs tomorrow. Ooh, you mean with that hot and cold? Like in the fall time? We don't really seem to see them, like, it seems like fall. Am I wrong with this? You guys correct me if I'm wrong. But it seems like fall, like you'll get a lot of springs. That warm and cold, right? You'll get a lot of springs that pop. But then it seems like it like plateaus out. Like it'll still happen, but I don't know. I just don't seem like I notice it like I do in the fall. Sup, Brent? Is this a night core? I don't know what this one is. They got so many. I think these are all knockoffs now, pretty much. This is was a Mahler something. It's nothing fancy. It doesn't hold a charge very long, but it's convenient. They were cheap. They're convenient. I bought them for like some giveaways, and then I bought them for a couple guys for like birthdays and stuff like that. But you know they work. They got that motion thing. What are you supposed to do? Is that this one? Then you can do. I don't really use that feature that much. You'd think you would, but it'll spook you out because like you walk past the door jamb and it's like it'll be like do you walk and I'll say like what the, you think it's like an arc flash, you know? So I don't really use that feature, but I do like, you know, you got the brightness. It's got the laser, you know, not laser, but the beam. They're nice. They do the job. I mean, they're good for just outside. I find it all the time in the dark. I'm always like, dark time, I got to have a headlamp because everything I do, I'm always like, I can't see. Or I carry this light hasn't held up as good as I wanted it to. The buttons, it's a nice light, but this is that through night. This is my normal pocket, you know, my little one I keep on my my belt clip. It's good for openers and stuff like that. It's got a blast where you can. I mean, it's super bright, but I don't know. It just seems like it glitches out when especially when I was hunting. I had some hiccups with it, and it really ticked me off. But it works. It's working. Tanner says he's got, what's he got? Oh, that's always a pain. I did convert a TorqueMaster this summer. Was low headroom inside, so I just put normal bearing bracket drums, torsion springs on it, and you can use 2 plastic center bearings. Ooh. Tanner's guy says use a spacer for the drums to build them out to miss the low headroom verticals. Nice. Works pretty good. Not bad. Evan must have got on somebody. Did a spring change? What's Evan got? Did a spring change on a 12-foot door with a 3265. And it says pitched horizontal tracks Saturday along with replacing the cables. Nice. Hopefully it went good. I was wondering if you were doing anything over the weekend. I was thinking about you, Evan. I was like, I wonder if Evan's got any jobs this weekend. Tanner says, jobs, so many extras, can't wait to be done. Which one is that, Tanner? The one you're working on? You got so many extras? I was just curious. You have to send me some pictures sometime too, Tanner. Send me some text, some stuff you're working on. Hopefully you got all that glass stuff out of the way. Oh, I hate all that lingering stuff. We're actually sitting pretty good. It's pretty good. It's just nice, slow and steady, and it's like we can micromanage every job to make sure it's nice and gushy right now. So it's really nice to really try to get everything flushed out and start working on the systems for when it gets busy. So hopefully the systems don't break. There will be a failure point, I guarantee it. But hopefully we can get most of them ironed out. Do 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 do. Evans got since the start of the year. I've mainly done spring changes. I've got gear kit swap coming up within the next week. Nice. Springs, man, are good money. Like I said, I used to have a guy who worked for me, and he always told me, he said, "Man, he goes, I started garage door business. He goes, I'm gonna just do springs." And he got some kind of form of disability too, so it ain't like his. This thing seems like it's really loud. Like I feel I'm gonna turn this off. It's annoying me. You're too loud. You're too loud, heater. No sleepy with that. Um, but I would agree. I would agree. Now the older I get, the more I look at it, and I just go, man, if you could focus, harness in on doing springs, at least residential. Commercial would be a different animal. But man, springs are, you think about it, like I've never, ever, ever had anybody ever question about, like, that spring, it looks like it has a nick in it, like a dent or the paint has chipped. Never. I mean, I've had some that are actually kind of a little rusty. Couple spray of some lubricant on them. They kind of richen up, a little bit, darken up. I've had some that were a little, like I said, a little bit on the rusty side. But I've never had a spring break prematurely. I mean, I've done stuff wrong. Don't me wrong. I've wound them the wrong way, my own fault stuff. I've had, but I mean, you think about it, right? They're small, they're compact, they're nimble. You're normally there if you can get there within a reasonable time. People just love you, you know, for man. You know what I mean? And you can charge a premium, kind of like a gas station, right? Like a convenience store. Hey, it's a premium. You go in there, bam, you do it. You get a little cheddar cheese, right? You can have the springs. They easily fit in a vehicle. You can scrap them. They're nice and kind of bulky and heavy, so you can have a nice little scrap pile if you ever want. They're great. They're great. They're not like garage doors. You gotta find a way to transport them. You gotta haul them. You gotta get them there. You find there's damage. Was it you that damaged it? Was it whoever? Man, we got 4 likes. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. If you don't mind, if you haven't hit it, hit the like button. Just helps bring more people in. It's always fun that way. It jumped on me here. What did it do? Start. Ooh, since the start of the year, Denton Springs. We got Morgan. What's up, Morgan? Y'all getting leads. My phone has only rang twice in 3 months. Man, it's slow. It's slow. I ain't gonna lie. It's slow. It's slow around here. This is normal. Like I said, typically we'll see a little bump when tax season, right? The March, whenever I don't know when you get your taxes. I'm not a part of that gang anymore. I'm always going, how much do I got to pay in? So when the tax money comes back, you'll get a little bit, right? Because everybody else wants to spend it on cars and all kinds of TVs and just everything else that's depreciating assets. But you'll get some that'll do repairs, furnaces and hot water tanks and roofs. Well, not really roofs around here, anyways. It's too cold, but they'll do the garage doors and stuff like that, or fix something, right? So you'll see a little bit of flush of money, and then it kind of peaks out again. Depends on the weather, right? If the weather comes out nice, man, all of a sudden things can ramp up real fast. You get a lot of builders, you get a lot of just people being flushed in the system in a sense because right, if builders, even if they're not your builders, right, the other garage door guys are getting sucked in that way, and then the residential will start opening up too. um, and nothing's moving, right? I mean, there could be a broken door right now, nobody's using it because they're just not going out that door anymore, or because they're not using the door that often now, stuff's not breaking, or they're being courteous, right? Like I'm one of those customers. I'm courteous about certain vendors doing stuff. Like what was I was just thinking about? Needed something. And I said, nah, there ain't no way I'm going to make somebody go through this because I know as a contractor they'll do a crappy job. I do a crappy job, not intentionally, but it's just going to happen because you're freezing. You're done. Do do do. Ever after any luck with the Next Door app? I don't know. I thought someone messing with it a little bit. I know somebody was talking about doing it every morning, posting, which if you got old pictures or something, that's a great time to post some pictures, say, hey, this was a happy customer. Obviously, if it's the weather is gonna show that's not a recent picture, but you could always just build excitement on it, or hey, if you got anything, let me know. All that stuff doesn't hurt because you just never know how somebody's going to find you. I found, what was it? I think it was last year. I needed one of the rentals painted, and the one place I called, right? This is just how to show you. I called a very known company, right? They got the trucks and everything, right? They got the trucks, man. They got the trucks. They got the full wraps. And I'm like, I just need this one done. I need a quick turnaround. I call them up. Nobody answers. I leave. I said, who I am. I said what I'm looking for in the city, all this stuff, right? I said, here's my email. I said, here's my phone number. I said, you can call or text my phone number because just some people are just that way. And I made it very clear. And I kid you not, it was a full week later. I never got a call in 24 hours. So I was like, okay, I guess I better move on. Well, I didn't know who else to really go to. So I just thought, I'm going to check next door. And I checked it out. I found another company, answered, right? I called them, right? Secretary answers. She wasn't super ambitious, but she was nice and she did her job. And she took down my information. Everything was like, bam, bam, bam. We're going to get you scheduled for this and this. And everything worked like clockwork. Now, the other company, right, a whole week later, which I wish they wouldn't even called me. They called me back and they're like, he's telling me, hey, I got an opening. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm supposed to actually meet the other company like the next day. And I'm like, so you want to come today? And then I finally had to put two and two together. And I'm like, oh, you're the other company. Like, oh, hey, man. I was like, I appreciate it. But I'm like, I'm all set. I was very polite about it. But I just wanted to be like, dude, it's a week later. Like, don't even bother calling if it's a week later. If you can't call in 24 or 48 hours, 2 days, 3 days, a week later, don't even bother. This guy here, Rusty's guy, says, Morgan, most of ours comes word of mouth from 35 years in business. The rest comes from Google. Evan Scott, Morgan, once I made a post in local Facebook group, my inbox started filling up. Also, word of mouth doesn't hurt. That's very true. Ever after. Or any luck with Menards, the contractor desk? Like I said, the contractor desk is like a one. If I got 1 or 3 a year from the contractor desk, and the only reason is if you're going in there and they know you and you got a buddy that works there or something, you know what I mean? Makes sense. Because we'd work on Menards stores, so they'd see us. We had to talk to the general manager. We had to talk to the assistant manager. We had to go in there and sign in. I knew when they used to have their own booth, I knew the garage door lady there because I'd order stuff. Knew me by name. I knew her by name. And so maybe they would, hey, somebody go, well, I don't know, who's going to install this? Well, hey, you're right here. But so it doesn't hurt, right? Because one customer is one customer. One customer could turn into 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 or 20 jobs. You don't know. But it just, like I said, it's not like I'd bank my whole business on it, that's for sure. But everything helps, right? It doesn't hurt. Evan says, for me, don't seem like many people use Nextdoor up here. But I do have a page for my business set up just in case, since I'm the only company on it. Okay, in my area. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like I said, you just never know. I've had people you can still do stuff through the old Craigslist, right? And I've had some people reach out through Craigslist. It's just Facebook, Craigslist. I mean, if it's free, why not? You know what I mean? Because the biggest thing you always have to remember is that you can't ever just think about how you shop, right? People shop so many different ways, and people are on so many different platforms nowadays that'll make your head spin. Tanner says, yes and no on the Menards contractor desk. You can get the people who come in and get parts to fix themselves, but can't figure it out. But they normally think any amount to fix it is too much. Could be true. We fix all our local Menards doors, so I know most of the Menards workers best thing to do is get in with the lumber desk guys, and they'll send you. Yep, they'll send it your way. I think it's worth. If you think it's worth your while. So that's why I mean, like, if you're kind of like, it's almost like one of those things. Like, if you're in there, that's why I'm always kind of like trying to, even a local lumber yard, right? But you just have to understand, like what I never understood, right? I've got 6 likes. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. The thing is, what you got to remember is like something I didn't know when I was young, right? I would think I'd walk into a place and I'm King Tut. You know what I mean? I'm the garage door man, the only garage door man, and I'm going to be the only garage door man of this town. I will own this town. So arrogant. And you don't want to own the town. Because if you did it all, you can't do it all. And it's better to make friends and allies. So anywho, so you got to remember that these people are human, and that more than likely, you're going to meet some older people than you, and they've been around the block a time or two. So you can't go in there just one time and think, like you hand them a card and it's like, you're going to call me, right? You're going to give me all your business. Hey, you might win it, but you're building that rapport, and there's going to be that day where they maybe want to try somebody, or what happens to us all, right? It's kind of like, if you think about it, it's kind of like the line. That's the one thing in the business that a lot of people don't see. You know how they always show you, like on the Discovery Channel or the Animal Channel or whatever the heck it's called, Animal Planet. You know how like the lion eventually is not the king anymore? That's going to happen to us all. You know what I mean? So you can't always be, but what I'm getting at is you're trying to like let them know who you are, because somebody is going to slip, right? And that'll happen. That happens with me. It's going to happen with you, even though I'll never, blah, blah. You're going to slip, and there's going to be a time they might use somebody else. It just happens. Sometimes you guys don't match up. It's not a good fit. They want stuff for free. You can't do stuff for free. You grow out of those shoes. You grow out of your skin. All kinds of stuff. It's always changing. Evan's got most of my tax money is going toward down payment on a house. You need to go. You should buy. I don't know. I just when I hear that, I think about when I was a young man. And I would seriously think about buying, like, I'd do like a duplex, or like what I've been telling Caleb. I tell him right now, I said, dude, you got youth on your side. And I'm gonna be straight up with you. 40 is different. 40 is different. The body, you don't shed the weight like you used to. You have to watch what you're eating. You have to watch how you jump off the ladders, how you jump off the scissor lifts. There's a lot of things that change. And I look back and I look at everything now, right? Nowadays, all I ever care about is assets and liabilities. Does it put money in my pocket, or does it take money out of my pocket? And so, like, I don't know anybody's particular situation. I'm just talking in general. But as a young man, when I think about it, right, I can live pretty much on nothing. I still can. You know what I mean? Like, I can go up in a deer blind and I'm pretty content. Perfect? No. I can be in a trailer and I'm pretty content. I can be in a cabin. I'm pretty content. You know what I mean? Like, you can live very minimum. So like for him, right, we got these man condos going up over, and I'm like, dude, I would crash at one of these things. I just seen one at 600 and I think it was $699, $700 a month. That's not including utilities. And I was like, dude, if you could get one of those where you can work on your own rig, right? You start like, if this is something you want to pursue and you want to go fast and you want to make money and you want to like, let's just say you want to get out of your day job, right? You got to be hungry, man. You got to do what the unthinkable would do, right? Like when I used to go across the state, right? Not the smartest, I would say. I would focus more close now. When I was sleeping in my Ford Ranger, because I was so tired, I was about ready to crash and put it in a ditch. It can be done. It can be done in condoms, right? You're not supposed to technically. I believe they got mailboxes there. I'd get one of those for sicker. And then you ain't worrying about the yard. You're not worrying about fixing windows. You're just surviving and you're making money. I'd be working on my rig, right? I'd have me a service van. I'd be working. I got tall ceilings so I can bring stuff in there. I could work on my buddy's vehicles that I wanted to. I got options, right? Like one thing I've noticed is that at least this is just me, my opinions. For men, right? I need room, especially in this business. Like like this place, like looking back at it, I need more room. I need bigger ceilings, a lot bigger ceilings, like 16-foot tall ceilings all day long. Because you know what takes up a lot of room? This stuff. Tracks, doors, scissor lifts. If I could put it up to the ceiling or put it against a wall, it wouldn't take up so much floor space. I could lean it up. So ceiling is great, right? Especially if you got equipment, you got trucks, right? Because I used to drive small vehicles, you know. And then I was just telling my buddy, actually tonight on the phone, because he's got the same problem now because he does his roofing business. And I told him, I said, dude, when I had my 18-foot wide by 8 foot tall Wayne Dalton TS200, I said, I put a ladder rack on my F250 Super Duty. And I said, if I put 2 ladders on top, which happens, you stack two of them on there. Nope. I could not make it in that door. Bam! I run into it. I did it once. And so you had to unstack. Well, if you live around here, which is snow belt, horrible weather, and if you're going to do construction, or if you're going to do service, or you're going to do garage doors, plumbing, it's a must. It's a must for a man, right? And so I'm telling you, I would love to have a bigger, taller, right? Looking back, because houses are they're just stuff, man. It's like my uncle always told me, right? He says, Dave, the more room you have, the more you'll fill it up with stuff. That's very true. So, Tanner says most of my tax money is going to what? To wait and never get any money back. Or he says, right back into payroll tax. I have to pay taxes, man. I'm listening to taxes today. You know how you pay, like, you got taxes on your income and that, right? Then they make us pay taxes on like our Social Security. What a crock of crap. Twice? Dude, I mean, I don't understand why people aren't like, we should be out there pitchforks, double taxing. Double taxing, man. That's why in that one book, right? The highest thing you'll ever pay is taxes. And I thought that's the stupidest thing. But now that I'm 40 some years old, man, I tell you, I look at it and I just go, that's why I don't want to even want certain services, like for here, for instance, right? Well, natural gas, this and that, it's cheap. Is it? Because now you're going to get another, I don't know if there's going to be information on here, but this is a water bill. It's connected to the city, right? So I had to have some kind of water for them to give us occupancy into this place, right? So for whatever reason, which we have had a toilet that has had a little bit of issues, right? But I've been in here quite a few oftentimes. I haven't noticed it, right? Our last bill was $245. Now, mind you, there's normally only one guy in here, maybe a half a day. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of water consumption. We're not taking showers here. $245. Wow. You know what I mean? But then this next one was only $35. So was there an error? Or was the toilet stuck open that long that I didn't catch it? But what my point is there was a pump here that we're going to pay electricity regardless. We got electric, we got heat, we're going to pay that tax on it. It'd be a little bit more for a pump, right? And I would hear the pump. I would notice the pump. I don't hear the water when it's city. I've had this problem with other houses too. One of my personal houses back in the day, my first one, all of a sudden I get a $400 water bill. And it's like, what the heck is going on here? And the meter's out by the road. You know, and I guess this kind of goes back to, uh, let's just face it, when you're young, you're really dumb. I was. And so I didn't realize that the meter was out by the road and that anything past the meter is my responsibility. So my line split, it's leaking in the ground. I get this 400 some dollar bill. And like I said, this is like whatever, you know, like 15 years ago or something. And I'm like, what the heck is going on, right? Now, the municipality, you're not supposed to have access to the cover. I found a way to get it open. I can see it's moving and stuff. I'm like, what is going on here? So I'm going through the whole house, checking everything. Like, nothing's leaking. Like, what's going on? Finally, one day, I'm walking the dog. I see something coming out of the ground, and I'm thinking, well, she just went potty there. But I thought, man, that looks like that's a lot of potty. And I'm thinking, nope, that's something coming out of the ground. Obviously, that's what the water leak is. So I have to dig down whatever, 6 feet, whatever it is in the ground, get to this water line. I splice it, I fix it. I go to the municipality. And they go, well, the problem is that you got to pay when you got city water, right? You got to pay water, and you got to pay sewer. Okay, so we can save you, we can help you on the sewer, but we can't help you on the water. Okay, so they knocked it down like $100 or something. But if I can only do a letter, and if it happens one time or a year, um, they can't do nothing. Well, guess what? I get another break in the line. So it's $500, I think, and I do have to fix it. But now I'm so paranoid. I'm actually going out to that meter, and I'm checking it like every week. Right? I go out there when nobody's home, and I'm checking that meter to make sure that thing's not spinning. So there's just so many things that life will suck off you. Do, 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 do. I fixed my withholdings so that I don't get anything back. Um, I'm not giving interest. He says free loans to the government. Yeah, I understand that. I get that. Do, 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 do. Tanner says exactly. It's like my wife's really good about a lot of our property taxes. She always waits to like the last day. My stepdad does the same thing. Um, can't wait to see who Trump's fires next. I'm super excited about the EPA. What is this? EPA? Oh, all the emissions are about to go out the window with diesels. I know that'd be nice. Have any, but now possibly buy a new one in the the coming year or so. Not to spend 8K to delete them. I don't know if we'll go that far. I hope so. I hope so. But I just, you know, I'm not real good with the whole politics in a sense, but I know a lot of stuff that it's like executive order still has to be passed in a sense. Like it can still be, so I don't know. I just don't know, you know. Do 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 do. Rusty says I have 1 year left on my truck payments. Have the money in the bank to pay it off. He says if there's any benefit to do it early, what do you guys do? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. I guess it all kind of depends. I mean, it's not that far away. If you wanted to, you could. I mean, you're already kind of locked in. It's money just in there you can maybe use or just hold for a rainy day right now. Um, we're kind of in that with like the wife's got the same situation going on, and I was talking to her. I said, are you going to keep full coverage, or are you going to, and she said probably, and I said, yeah. I said I couldn't imagine. I don't want to work on that thing or try to fix it if something happened, and the money and stuff. And she does most of the traveling anyways, but so you're going to keep full coverage on it anyways. Whatever, just do the payment, keep the full coverage going for now. Figure it out down the road. What are these? If you guys ever wanted, I don't think there's nothing. This just popped up at the jobber. It has all your schedule and then stuff on it. I'd show you more, but there might be personal stuff on there. I can't. It just popped up. I thought it logged you out, so that's kind of nice. I can jump right on it. Look, see what's going on. Do 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 do. Is it Soul? It says they're still following you. Is that was this? Says anger temporary. She called me self something absorbed. I don't know what that if it's still there, still following you. I don't know exactly what that is. Rusty Evans guy says probably just paid off, so it's done, and you can start putting money towards another truck. Smash. What's up? Is it Mel? Hi, Mel. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of houses up for sale in the States right now, especially DC. I think vehicles are still overpriced. They're not going to give you that kind of discount right now, especially with tax season coming up. So you got to wait till what, like April and stuff like that. That that might be the time, but um, I think right. The problem is, so like I looked at the new Chevy Express vans, and they got the 8 speed. The 8 speed's got problems. That's all I hear. I hear 10 speeds too. So I'm really thinking to keep the older vehicles, get them, so it keeps the rust at bay. But even myself, it's like one of those things. Like I could do it, but do I want to? Like I don't think I need to. Especially like I said, we. I think there's only one vehicle out there that's got over 100 out of the fleet, and I mean besides my personal truck, but um, I think we're going to crank really hard this year on the 5 Mile Famous. So I think we're going to ramp up some residential even, because it is just helping so much in the background that you don't even see, with like oil changes and tires. I mean, it's amazing that these vans, when we first got these have only been around probably 2 or 3 years, the way things were going. I mean, we're at what? These are 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We're at what? 8 years? 8 years, man. These things are still, I mean, under 100,000. That's pretty darn good, especially for service. So I think we're going to try to stretch them. Like I said, I'd like to see one, but I just don't trust anything out there right now. Everything is just such a blunder. I'm seeing, the maintenance, or not maintenance, but mechanics are having the same problem with all these issues with parts. Um, you know, I don't know if things will clear up with the EPA or anything like that. I mean, I'd like to say so, but until I see some proven evidence of stuff, I don't know. Pediatric smash Tanner, unless you want to use. What does it say? Tanner's guy here says not really, unless you want to use little as collateral. Something else. He says, if you a loss of some kind, making a payment. I don't remember if depreciation changes once it's paid for. Or Rusty used some of that, was it says moldy money and buy it. Was it a brute winder? Yeah, there you go. Drilled to wind it. Big one. No Tanner, I don't think it matters if paid off for depreciation. Rusty says, Tanner says, I'm 39, still strong. He says, maybe next year when I'm old like Dave. Man, I love it. Matt says hi. Hi, Matt. Dave, you plan on building a larger shop one day? I got a call. There's a place down the road. It's a really nice facility. I want to see, just at least just have a general idea what they charge. They're leasing it. Our township is very stringent on stuff. They're really a pain to work with, and as much as I would love to, I don't know. I don't know. The other place is already built. It's already there. It's already fenced in. More bays. But like I said, it's one of those things. You got to remember that every time what is it like? Every action has a reaction, and so for like me, right? Um, you're kind of you're kind of beheld to some degree. Um, there's blowback. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of like this is just my opinion, and I'm not the accountant expert and anything like that, but I wish I could think of the guy. There's a guy out there though that talks about this. How every year, right, they try to convince us that we have to, we need to go spend that money before we have to pay taxes on it and stuff. We need to go buy something and we can depreciate, blah, 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 blah. And I've played that game, right? But it seems like what's really funny I've noticed now that I'm kind of getting older and I can slow down, right? Is that I realize that most people driving the bigger, fancier trucks are the ones that are driving the fastest. I wonder sometimes why that is. Well, my opinion is they're chasing money. They got a truck payment, they got a house payment, they got a boat payment, or they bought a boat and they got a maintenance, they got to store it, they got to all these things, right? And so, and I get it. I've been there too, right? And I think it's kind of a so if you find something that's a good runner, and you can keep it running, it's easy to work on. Your mechanic likes working on it. You got good mechanics or dealership or whoever you're using. Keep it going, baby. Keep it going. You know what I mean? Because it's just like I said, when you buy, you just don't know. Like the soy wires. I didn't realize that new vehicles have soy wires in it. So or soy wires, the coating on it. So mice like to chew it. I mean, I thought it was funny as heck because my uncle tells me when the dealership calls me and a brand new vehicle, it's only got 300 miles on it, and they're like a mouse chewed the wire, and my uncle's like laughing, and he's like, haven't they found a way to invent so mice don't want to chew electrical wires? And I'm like, yeah, kind of laughing with him, right? Well, then I found out like a year later, I'm watching some video, and they make them, they're making it so it's more biodegradable. Of course, for one, it's cheaper, right? Because I mean, let's face it, right? Let's face the facts. Garage door openers are cheaper. LiftMaster ain't putting DC motors on it to help us, to benefit us, to make them last longer. No, they're putting them on there because it's cheaper for them to build. It's just a numbers game. That's how it always is. You know what I mean? It's just like washers and dryers and fridges, right? I mean, your grandparents had a yellow fridge that outlasted them. They're dead and gone now. We get these white fridges that we buy, our Frigidaires, and they last 5 to 8 years, and we got to throw them in the hopper. And when you think about the whole thing, the whole grand scheme of things, right? When we're trying to be eco-friendly, what about all this product that we keep building that we're throwing or disposing? Eventually, I don't know. Like I said, might do an addition. We got another piece of property. We could do something, but it's just a lot of logistics, and I don't know. Hey, Rusty's, I'm 33, he says, and I can whine with the best of them. But a time the body save or a body, oh, it's saying a body saver. It's the only way to go. Tanner does some monster springs, and you're doing consecutive. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying if I was doing one, I still wouldn't do it. But when you're doing consecutive doors or big stuff, man, I'd be all day using those. They're the brute minder. Body saver, way to go, man. He says I can wind a lot of springs for that kind of money. I noticed too, like when I did the one with Josh, I did three doors, so 2, 4, 5, 6. I did 6 springs total. I didn't break a sweat. I realized when I was doing the last one, I'm sitting there with the drill, just kind of looking around, watching at the other subcontractors, and also I'm like, just kind of going, I didn't even break a sweat. I'm doing great. What is that? What's that saying, right? An ounce of prevention's a pound of something. That's what I think about. I would have switched right when it came out. He says, I had mine for about 3 to 4 years. Duplex tomorrow at Menards with bars. Oh my gosh, yeah. Humble yourself when you. This is Tanner. I still shovel our parking lot by hand because I like the workout. Rusty, I could see you becoming a franchise first. He's got a lot of competition with that franchise. Evan, is that an offer to move to US? Yeah, there you go. Merger. I love it. Oh, that sounds god awful, says Rusty. Says, I'm sure it would be fun to watch you. Yeah. Evans manager, he says, I'm still learning to run my own business. Plus, I'm hoping I can get my Canadian. Was this Canadian? Was this what is this patriotism back this year? Oh, is that with Trudeau? Yeah, who knows, Evan? You may be an American sooner than you think. Oh, there you go. If we buy Canada. That's funny. What's the got here? It says we don't have to buy it. We want it in the U.S. versus Canada hockey game. Oh, Tony says looks cold there. Ah, Tony. Zap. What's up, Tony? Sorry about the booing. Tony. Oh man, Rusty says, Tony, did you see that Florida is passing a law that says you must be licensed in Florida to do garage doors? I always wonder how that works. If he could just still use his out of state one, you know what I mean? Like, right? I mean, like we can have plates in other states and stuff like that. Just I run my business out of there. I'm just a passerby. Saw it in the ID magazine today. I seen it a while back ago. So I wonder if that magazine, if I'm gonna get a new one or not. Tanner, I was throwing around the idea of buying all the bottom countries of Minnesota. Well, like a trade license. Tanner's got. I think that should be a standard in all states and all trades. Have to work for a company for so many years to go out on your own. And equivalent, it's gotten really bad around me with a few yahoos. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I kind of like on one hand, so like I'll tell you something that's going on that we still can't pinpoint yet. This is like the fourth or fifth time this has happened. So a couple times the secretary probably didn't even mention it, right? Just kind of But we got somebody that's driving around in a standard pickup truck, not marked, and supposedly it's hard because the customers aren't real clear. But they're saying they're with us. So like the last one was a customer that just paid $500 to this guy, but he calls us and said, you know, you guys were out here, and we're like looking at the system, we're like, you don't even exist. The guy didn't give a receipt. So there's something weird going on. We're still trying to get to the bottom. I got, if anybody knows a good website that they used or anything for looking up a license plate, I got his license plate because another customer he went to, they got cameras and they got pictures of the whole vehicle and everything. But it's like it hasn't affected us, like taking it out of somewhere for us, but it's just we're worried about a bad Google review. We're worried about, but then the customer came back and said, oh, I found it. It was, somebody something. I don't give too much information, but so we don't, so Cap was thinking that maybe he's working for another door company. He's trying to collect money under the table, and he keeps saying he doesn't want them to go back to his original company. He's saying it for another company, which is using us. So I haven't kind of figured it out 100% yet. I got an eye now for what the truck looks like. I'm going to keep an eye out because obviously, but like I said, we don't have enough. It's just unclear. It's just weird how it's working. I don't even know how to explain it. Oh, so I was getting at though with the business. The problem I don't like is most of the cities get greedy, and you're gonna have to do what do they call it? Continuous education. So you got to go in and spend, whatever, 6, 8, 16 hours a year and do continuous education, which most time, anything I've ever gone to this stuff, it's like they don't know, their butt from an apple. But I look at it nowadays. If customers I guess this is where it kind of like I feel like, and I'm going way off on this. It kind of comes down back to the mommy and daddy stuff. You know what I mean? Like the roots of America need to be the mommy and daddy, right? They need the spankings. They need to be taught. You're not this. You respect. You do all this kind of stuff. And customers need to wise up too. People, we've gotten so far away from common sense and people just like using their brain. Like they're just we have to make stuff. Everything has to be so idiot proof that it's like you don't even have to think anymore, right? We got backup cameras, we got sensors on our cars. I mean, I feel weird even driving my truck that doesn't have a backup camera. It's like, oh, I got to actually turn my head around, or I got to use the mirror. Where it's like the wife's car, right? You just look down at the camera and you're just like, oh, this is great. And it's got sensors. I mean, you don't even have to look really. You just wait for it to beep, and it'll do it for you. Lazy, right? And should have especially now, all the internet and all the technology and all the reviews and all the Google, it should be organic. People should be able to go on there and see and do their own homework. I mean, that's what I do. You know what I mean? I mean, I get a customer, I guess somebody don't call me back in 24 hours. I continue on. And then when they call me back a week later, it's like, sorry, bud, I'm not even considering you anymore. So I don't know. Like I said, I get it to some degree. No, I just don't like anytime I feel like the government gets in stuff, they screw it up. So I just because it don't bother me. Like I said, if people want to, they want to take the low hanging fruit, go for it. Because you want to come up to this level, right? You got to get the trucks, you got to have the insurance, I mean, it takes a lot just to get here, But I don't like people getting screwed over either. I mean, but I feel like the customers, especially when the old ladies, I don't like the old ladies getting messed over. That's not cool. But most other ones, trying to do doors, I'm getting pretty fed up with cleaning up their jobs and looking like the bad guy for charging accordingly. Trying to do doors. Evan says, yeah, but Tanner, that I can start my business out of spite for not getting hired. That is true. What's up, Will? Been out of the industry a few months. Don't miss Winding Springs. I understand that. Technically, you're not in the States, Evan, so you would not concern you, and if not fair for everyone. But I feel like it's the betterment of the industry and paying customers. If it makes you, Tanner says, I look like the harder it is, less competition. Yeah, it's a money thing. It's a money thing here. Yeah, I mean, I really think just in general, we're gonna see a lot more. In a nutshell, I mean, I even think about I have some of my older uncles, some that even passed away. I mean, there were so many things that didn't matter. They still didn't even have their licenses for a lot of the stuff, right? But customers are always there looking for the people that will do it under the table or do it for cheaper. And that's just something that we always have to understand, that, like right? That's why it's active. It's a blessing and a curse, right? Because in your business, in the garage door business, in this business, right, we actively have to go out every day and work. And that's why I'm always like talking about, like, maybe get into the vending machine business, maybe get into the Porta-John business, maybe get into the real estate business, because, and I'm sure there's a few other ones I'm not even thinking, but because what it is, you have something that is paying you like a subscription that you don't have to 100% do, right? Because we go out and do a job, we do a good job. Do we get rewarded for a good job? Not really. It's not like we're going to make more money and buy nicer things for our families. It's just we don't have to go back and do a callback. We don't have to spend more money and time and gas and wear and tear on the vehicles. And maybe they will refer us to somebody, right? Maybe. And there's another way you can, you want to be referred, do stuff cheap. Oh, people love cheap, man. You can sell all day on cheap, right? That's why all of you and me included, right? You go look online, you buy stuff on Amazon because it's cheap. You don't have to go, or you go to the store and, I mean, I haven't heard anybody that walks around and goes, I buy the most expensive thing. God darn, I don't care where it's made or how it's made. I look for the most expensive, right? Everybody in your family across the board always goes, "Hey, you know how much I got these for? Dude, I got this for $3 online." They wanted 12 at the store. That's what everybody does. So we're all kind of floating in the same ocean. The tide raises all ships. So you're kind of stuck. You know what I mean? That's why if you can do something like maybe you start offering a plan, right? You say, hey, look, I offer a plan. It's $5 a month and a warranty. You figure out whatever the averages are, $10 a month, and we'll take care of your opener. You know what I mean? And get a subscription on it. Where like Porta-Johns and rentals, and if you got they're slowly, and the beautiful thing is you're dealing with an asset that's typically going up, real estate. But like for us, everything we have is depreciating. You think that scissor lift out there's getting any newer? I can get more money. It's whatever. It's 12 years old or whatever. You think the trailers out there are going to get me more money? Hell no. You think the van's going to get me more money? No. No. You have to try to race your hiney off, trying to pay it off and make more than what the bank's making. And the interest in the insurance company, the insurance is the worst. You know what I mean? The insurance companies are raking people, and you're out of control. You're just the guy that has to, it's $100 more a month, and you just have to pay it. So stuff you got to think about. There's a lot of stuff that's out of your control, like the stinking water bill. Like what am I gonna do? Go down there, complain, whatever. Either figure out the toilet, But I tell you what, if I had to go out there and pump the damn water, wouldn't be no water being wasted. Like an old pitcher pump? Oh yeah, you know it, baby. Money thing Tony's got should at least be garage door trades at community colleges. Tony says for license in Florida. Yeah, that's what I figured. It's a money. It's just yeah. Tanner, you're not wrong, Rusty, but you got those guys trying to cheat their way through with garage door work and charging prices like they knew what they were doing. The handyman business. Tony, Tony, you're probably grandfathered in. Rusty says, yeah, I've seen them come and go. I remember a lot of businesses in my area that tried to do that, and they are all gone now. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah. A lot of guys run around like chickens with their heads cut off. They spend all this money and advertising, and they buy the trucks or whatever, and they're way, way under. Tony, it's Tony Guy here. How are you guys doing business-wise? Are you busy? He says we're booked all week, starting to book for next week. Ooh, that's nice. I don't think that's around here. I don't know what the date is. Let me see what the date is. Let's see what the 17th. Sometimes they're getting better. We've been cracking the whip. 17. There's that. 17, right? Monday's full. Let's see. Wayne Dalton. Vacation. There's a vacation in here. Remember quote. So like this week, like you said, there's really not too much. A lot of stuff is over on the side. Problem is waiting for material, but that's okay. So works out good. Road conditions are not the best. A lot of spotty ice were driftovers. Oh yes, it won't last long, but I'm getting annoyed. He says that we have been a 30-year company, and yet they still get jobs only for the customers we quoted, also to try them out, and then We have to put them back on the back burner, fix sob story on how they already paid for the job done, but we have to completely tear out and install. It's getting old. It's getting old. Yeah, you know, you might be able to. I mean, maybe you could weed them out. Weed them out. Charge them more. You know what I mean? Make the job like I always look at like you know like you know it's like my uncle always told me, he's like, Dave, if you don't really want the job, he's like that way if you do get a job, you know what I mean? And you don't have to feel bad about the customer. That was their choice. They made a bad decision. Now you got to pay. We're pretty lucky. I don't think we'd come across that much. We've had a few that they paid half down or something and they never came through. It was a shady something. That always kind of, you know, I remember the one guy, he threw me off one time and they were writing up the estimate and I'm like I chickened out to ask for half down because it was a standard door. So I was like, if he doesn't take it, it's a standard non-insulated 16 by 7, nothing crazy. But I remember writing it up. I'm like, so it's going to be, you know, whatever,